You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Hello. Yes, it is us. It's Payroll Rob, joined by Zadie Bauer. It's November 15th, 2024. Episode 23. Shouts out to all the 23s out there. What do you think? Most famous 23? Does it go right to LeBron? Or
some would say Michael Jordan didn't have three straight triple-doubles when he was 39 years old.
Some would say that.
But I think it's Michael because LeBron's kind of went back and forth between 6, 23.
Do you think it's a generational thing? Like if you asked somebody that was the age 23 right now who the most famous number 23 was, they would automatically, Jordan wouldn't cross their mind as a famous 2-3.
Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, that's a good 2-3. A lot of good 2-3s. What about baseball? Who's the biggest 2-3 in baseball?
David Freese.
Yep, that's a hero. He's clutch.
I need a hero. But I don't really like David Freese.
David Freese taking shots.
Well, no. He got inducted into the Cardinal Baseball Hall of Fame and then declined it.
He was asked if he wanted to. Yeah.
Loser move.
I don't know. I get it. There's a lot of greatness in there. Like, if you look at the span of his career, he doesn't match the greatness that a lot of those guys have.
Okay, but when you close your eyes and think of the best Cardinals moments from the history of your life,
right?
What's number one?
I get it.
It's probably that.
Right. But is it a Hall of Fame for a whole career, or is it a Hall of Moments? Like, you did something great in a moment of time, no matter how great it was.
Well, see, I'm in a conundrum here because I dislike Patrick Mahomes. Oh, here I go with the Iggy throat clearing.
Get it out. Just gotta get it out.
I kind of dislike Pat Maroon. I said Mahomes.
What?
Because he called himself a hometown hero, which I think is a bigger loser move.
Dude, I think
I'm a hometown hero, baby.
I almost guarantee you the only reason he said that is because so many people told him to him that day and that week, and he was hammered, so it just came out. I don't think it's like he thinks of himself that way. Personally.
We don't win the Stanley Cup without him, but I mean, come on. That is just
how can you be a Pat Maroon disliker?
I just told you how.
Like, I'm telling you why that probably is what it is. I don't think it was like him coming, I'm going to call myself a hometown hero. I think he had so many people come up to him that day and days in between and be like, Pat, how does it feel to be a hometown hero? What is that like? And it just stuck in his head. So he was hammered and he goes up on the mic and he says, I'm a hometown hero, baby. Like, without even thinking about it. You can't judge a guy on that.
What I was saying, though, is this
you going to judge Brett Hall on singing Gloria?
No. Now, Brett Hall is a hometown hero, but he's not hometown.
He's not from here.
He's more blue than Pat. I keep wanting to say Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is not of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, my God.
Patrick Mahomes.
The biggest pandering move I've ever seen.
Mahomes
let's dress up a couple Chiefs players and send them to a Blues game and show that we're supporting the Blues. Why don't you guys all be Chiefs fans? Ooh.
He is the pride of St. Louis sports. Before I go back to the David Freese thing, is Mahomes the face of St. Louis sports right now?
Gosh. Oh, and are you defining face of St. Louis sports just by popularity among those in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Gosh.
And the fact that you're even struggling with this.
I know. It's probably Patrick Mahomes. Who else is there? I mean, it's like it's either that or people are like, oh, I love Robert Thomas.
No, we don't.
People hate Jordan Kyrou. Is it A.J. McCarron?
It'd be Bennington before.
It'd be Bennington. That'd be the best, closest, but it's not.
It's Patrick Mahomes. And probably second is Travis Kelce.
Yeah. When you say face of, what does that mean?
When you think, if you're who is your favorite athlete in if you're in St. Louis
And you're
your
a
favorite
sports fan
athlete,
right
current
now.
athlete, it's probably Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce.
Could be, yeah.
And I would argue there's
active, popular sports fans.
not even really close.
NFL is in a world of its own. There's no arguing with that. As much as I hate it, and as much as I want to be mad about it, there's no arguing with it. So I can't. All I can do is just be salty McTitties about the NFL ripping a team away from us. Allowing the team to leave, I should say, more than ripping a team away.
But going back to the
23s?
No,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
Will Freeze, Maroon. I want to ask you and the audience, what do you have a bigger problem with? David Freese was offered a chance into the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. He
Rejected.
declined because he didn't think that he belonged amongst names there, which to me, I'll stop giving my opinions because I asked you. So what do you dislike or like more, that or Pat Maroon calling himself a hometown hero at the Blue Stanley Cup parade?
Oh, like or dislike?
I dislike both.
I don't know. I feel like I have pretty neutral feelings on both scenarios. I feel like I understand the Pat Maroon thing, and I think it's just funny, kind of heat of the moment thing. I don't think it's like cocky or anything like that. I just think it's funny. It's not a big deal to me. The Freeze thing, I don't know. I think that he is a little, shy to, be praised for the moments that he did contribute, because it are some of the most exciting, moments in modern Cardinals baseball history. So he's a little modest and a little shy when it comes to being willing to take those accolades. But I think he's got a valid point to say that he doesn't, belong in the same conversations as Bob Gibson and different Cardinals that are of that ilk. I don't know. I can't blame anybody in both those situations. So I guess my feelings are pretty neutral.
David Freese is a hometown hero.
He's a hometown hero, baby.
Once, but twice. The triple,
Mm-hmm.
and then the home run.
Home runner. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I mean, yeah, what Pat Maroon did was great. Double overtime, Dallas Stars. How you doing?
Won us
Thanks
the
for
series.
coming. Jordan Bennington also had a shutout that game.
Yes.
But do you think Jordan Bennington, if he was from St. Louis, and
They'd call him a hometown hero too?
but would he
100%.
have called himself that?
If other people said it to him throughout
Jordan
the day
Bennington.
and he was drunk and it just kind of happened, yeah, it might have. Maybe.
David Freese didn't even call himself a hometown hero.
Yeah.
I would argue that he's more of a hometown hero than Pat Maroon, not Pat Mahomes. I'm kidding.
I just don't think that much into it. I just think it's a funny little quip. And how is he not? He is a quote unquote hometown hero.
But you let other people call you that. You don't.
I
Call
think other people did, and that's why he said it at the thing.
Well, he didn't have to tell us.
He was drunk and having a good time.
I like more when you're drunk saying, oh, "No, it's no more."
People say I'm a hometown hero. I'm not a hometown hero. The people say that. I don't say that. The people say that. That's what you want.
You don't bring it up at all.
Well,
we still had to win 2 whole series after that.
He didn't say it after the series. He said it after the cup.
I know when he said it.
So then what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, he's a hometown hero for that series, but he said it at the cup parade. I mean, he didn't do shit after that.
You can't say he wasn't a valuable piece of that team. Everybody played a part. He had minutes. He logged minutes.
I'm going to receive a lot of backlash for this, but I just had to get it
clip
off my
this
chest.
off, send it right to Pat Maroon's camp.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He is sensitive. That Boston Bruins announcer, which I do think is fucked up, he was making fun of Pat Maroon's weight a couple years ago on the broadcast, and Pat got wind of that and confronted the Bruins, the announcer. That was pretty funny. But he was a little sensitive. I think the announcer called him doughy.
Doughy. Hey, aren't we all a little doughy? Come on.
I for sure could use a little less yeast in my dough.
I'm smelling what you're cooking. The Rock is it? Wasn't that him? Wasn't The Rock smelling what you were cooking?
But
Are you not gonna? Is that? Am I correct?
The
in saying
Rock.
Was that the smelling what you're cooking? Was that The Rock?
Yeah, it was The Rock.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
We're not going down this wrestling rabbit hole. And matter of
We're
fact,
not gonna go down that.
After last episode, I don't think you should talk wrestling anymore because it caused so much controversy, so much
just uproar in the community.
so many of our fans questioning themselves. They've been winning your approval, and
Yeah.
that was kind of it. So we were supposed to have Brennan on this episode, which we didn't.
Because he's really upset with me.
No, but you were going to respond to all the hatred allegations and tell us why you do, in fact, hate him. But, I mean, we can still do that, but he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lay all the reasons out there when nobody's in here to defend themselves. We'll just have to hold on to it, I guess. Forever be festering.
We'll get to the bottom of it. But The Rock, what he's not cooking these days is box office hits.
Mm-hmm.
After
Who's had it worse the last couple of years? Tom Hanks movies or The Rock movies?
The Rock.
Ooh, Tom Hanks has had some duds.
Yeah.
Do you like Tom Hanks or do you like to just say Tom Hank? Singular.
Hanks.
I just like to say Tom Hank every once in a while. It's fun.
You're a lemon. You're a lemming.
Oh, yeah? I'm a lemon like a car?
You're a lemming. You're Tim McKernan. That is his preferred way of saying Tom Hanks.
Is Tom Hank?
And I think that's where this derives from.
Could be. I don't know.
That's okay.
I enjoy
There's
it.
a lot of them. We're making this a very secular podcast, and that's okay. We can have some selfish episodes.
I didn't know we made this show for anybody else but ourselves, personally.
Maybe one day we'll have other people listening, but for now, this is just recorded conversations between you and I.
Yeah, what's just is whether or not we decide to let people in on it, I guess.
But
We're talking about doughboys. You know who's not a doughboy? Mike Tyson.
well, I was going to segue it this way. David Freese, kind of anti-ego. Pat Maroon, big ego. Doug Vaughn, big ego. Small Johnson. Mike Tyson, non-existent.
Just not a real thing.
He doesn't have an ego.
Oh, Mike Tyson has no ego. This is what we're gonna say. So we are on the day right now of almost 60-year-old Mike Tyson taking on one-time YouTuber, just famous person,
Business mogul.
business mogul.
Jake Paul's very
Jake
successful.
Paul. Yeah, he's made a brand. He's made a brand. Yeah, I agree. So we got ourselves a fight. We got ourselves a matchup between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul tonight. This fight was supposed to happen some months ago, but there was a health issue with Mr. Mike Tyson. And so they're going to be doing the fight coming up here tonight. Well, leading up to this fight, there's been all sorts of news and press going around. So I guess Mike got interviewed by some 14-year-old TikTok star. This is bad show prep.
Correct. No,
I should have done I don't know the girl's name. That's what I feel like is where I'm
not important.
lacking. Well,
this isn't about legacies. Bob.
it's not that I'm like, oh, it's important that every single person know her name. It's just credit, right? I want to give credit due where the clip came from. So it's I am Jazzy's World TV on the old TikTok machine. That's as much credit as I'll give it. So she interviewed Mike Tyson just here the other day leading up to this fight. And I thought that the clip was so funny, so we're actually going to do something a little different here, Xavier. We're gonna play the clip
first.
We're gonna play the clip, and then we're gonna react to it. So here we go.
So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about a legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before. Someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead?
You're dead.
You think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think, I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me? For my kids, maybe, or grandkids.
Kids.
True.
She said true. Oh, poor girl. So that's just, I mean, you know, like you want to be critical of Mike there and be like, gosh, Mike, at least, you know, be a little nicer. But we always ask, like, man, these interviews with athletes and things are boring because they never give us anything. So I love this kind of interview.
Yeah, I would agree. Now,
It's hilarious that it's a 14-year-old girl.
I was going to say, I can understand the criticism of, I mean, he got pretty dark there, and he was dropping F-bombs with this 14-year-old TikTok star. Oh, it is kind of refreshing for an athlete to be so separate from their ego, where he's like, "Who gives a fuck about my legacy? I'm going to be dead.
We're all gonna die."
She's like, thanks for sharing that."
That's thanks for sharing that. I don't think I've ever gotten that response before. Basically, that was awesome.
Oh man, so
So anybody that hadn't heard that clip, Mike Tyson's got a pretty good perspective on things. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take the world too seriously, because we're all gonna die. We're all just dust. We're all particles floating in the wind, along for the ride. You know, don't focus too hard on what people are gonna think about you now or while you're fucking dead. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It just doesn't.
I mean, Mike's definitely done his fair share of psychedelics, well documented in the day. I think that's kind of helped him with some of that perspective there, especially
Mike
because
likes some peyote.
yeah, years ago, a toad. Tell him about licking the toad.
Did you know Mike Tyson collects pigeons?
Yeah, he loves them.
I didn't know. This
Yeah.
is like news to me recently. I found out.
He's been,
Pigeon Man. I didn't know.
He's raised pigeons for decades now, but it's a pretty big change up from back Mike and the Tyson saying he's no Alexander, I'm Alexander, I'm the conqueror.
Yeah. The psychedelic drugs opened up his mind that he's nothing. He's just, we're all dust.
Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, that would be just a great little nice clip off to have, huh? Thanks for sharing that.
I mean, it is great. It is Mike left, and whether he wants to leave a legacy or not, he left one more just extremely
Gold
clippable.
nugget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful gold nugget of knowledge.
I
Thanks,
mean, that's Mike
Tyson.
being Mike.
Man, I don't know. What do you think? Any predictions on the outcome?
When you are listening to this, you're going to know the outcome. Or,
Potentially. It depends on how quick I upload it.
but yeah, people are rushing to.
They're going to listen to it while the fight's going on.
They drop, push play.
Friday night, got nothing better to do than to listen to a little sit, talk, and listen.
My predictions will be
Gather around the hearth.
I love Mike. He is one of my favorite all-time athletes.
Yeah.
With that being said,
He's double this dude's age.
he is about 60. It's not in his favor, but he is a killer, dude.
Mike.
There is another clip that we don't have.
Tyson.
But I don't know if you saw it earlier this week. Jake Paul basically drops his promo saying, you know, I love you, Mike, but I'm going to have to beat your ass.
Yeah,
and all
he's
that
like
stuff.
giggling in it.
And Mike was like, the difference between me and Jake Paul is that he's a manufactured killer. He's manufactured. He's been built up by the media, by you guys. He said, I'm a natural born killer.
I do love that. I heard that clip, and I'm like, yes, Mike, get his ass.
So
We'll see.
Gosh.
I want to see Mike knock his ass down or out, but I just don't think we will. It's not in the interest of Jake Paul's brand to be knocked out by Mike Tyson.
Well, I don't think Mike gives a fuck about that.
I don't think he does either, but I'm just saying that they're going to do everything they can do to prevent that, it feels like.
My prediction, man, I'd hate to predict Jake Paul win and then have to sit here next podcast and be like, oh, my guy won, but I didn't pick him.
Yeah.
So I am going to ride or die with my guy, and I'm going to say Mike wins in a decision.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the case. It's going to be a relatively boring fight, and it's going to come down to a decision.
I
And
think
it's
Mike's
going to
going to
be
get him pretty good.
highly contested. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh, this guy won. No, this guy won. Oh, look at this. He had more punches here." Like that's it's just going to be highly contested. Nobody's going to agree with the outcome. I figured that's probably what we're going to see. A lot like other things that are going on in the world, always contested.
Like, I know Mike has gone and he's fought since his prime a few times, and he's obviously not the same guy. But I don't know if he's fought in this much of a hyped up fight with this much attention being paid to it. I don't know. Maybe his mind state has changed. Maybe he's found that inner warrior that he used to have, that spirit. Maybe he goes in, there's a lot of variables that you don't know. Yeah, obviously he's older than the last time he's fought where he didn't look like old Mike, but things change. He's been training like a maniac. I think that's partially what led to the last, why I had to be pushed back to this date. I think Mike was going a little too hard.
Yeah.
I think he wants to prove to himself. Obviously you heard there, he doesn't care what kind of legacy he leaves behind. But I think
in his mind, if he can just go out and do the whole fight and make it through the fight to a decision, it's a success. And that's probably what he'll say if it comes down to a decision. He's like, it doesn't matter if I lost in the decision. It's a success for me to be out here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He slapped the shit
I like
out.
Mike. I want him to win. I'm just trying to tell you what I feel like it's going to play out like.
Did you see him slap the shit out of Jake Paul at the weigh-ins? Obviously, that's all manufactured for.
I saw that clip. I didn't watch it again, or I just saw it one time. As that kept scrolling.
He's in his little Speedos, his little trunks, his little underwear, and he just comes out there and slaps the shit out of Jake Paul. But
Hotty toddy.
I do
Good
think,
God Almighty.
I think that's all, just hoopla for the fight.
Yeah.
The fight.
Yeah. And so it's like part of me wonders, I don't know, man. It's everything these days has to be questioned, right? The legitimacy of everything. So like the legitimacy of the realness of the fight, right? Like how much of it is real? Are they holding any punches back? Any of that kind of stuff.
The media in this town soft.
Yeah. The entertainment's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think everything, again, it feels like I'm putting the Nick and cynic here, but
Yeah.
I think you almost have to question every single thing that you're seeing in today's modern media.
That's what I was saying just before that phrase. I said it sucks that we have to question everything, the legitimacy of everything.
And that comes with, since the last time we recorded, there's been an election.
What?
Yeah, and Trump won.
This world's over. Oh, God, I'm going to go cry because I'm such a liberal. We're all going to die.
That's Libby Rob.
Yeah, that's been coined, I guess.
And it took, he hates wrestling, and Kid Rock is about as much as he loves Kamala. So
Yeah.
this is a
My
tough one,
love
but we're
for
going to talk.
caviar and fine foods is as big as my disdain towards Kid Rock and UFC.
Yeah. But going across like the disinformation, I think me and you can still share the same sentiment and feeling here. Is like, no, I don't really care too much about politics. Never have.
Yeesh.
My biggest thing, and what makes me the most sad in this society, and especially in America, is the division amongst how strongly polarizing everything has become. I mean, people are crying about the election results, and and this and the third. The last time there was a election, there was a huge, obviously January 6th happened. There's riots. There's
Here's my bold prediction. What do you think? I think it's between 2 days, either on Inauguration Day or on January 6th. There will be demonstrations, protests, marches, whatever, by liberals. Whether or not they turn to riots, I don't know. But I will almost guarantee that there will be some sort of demonstration or protests on either January 6th or Inauguration Day.
I don't know how
Mark my words.
liberal riots. I don't know how well that will go.
I'm just saying. I don't. Like I said,
Might be
I don't
some
know that
peaceful
it'll.
protesting.
I don't. Like I said, I can't. I won't. I won't go as far to say that it would turn into any sort of riots, but I say that something will happen, whether it be a demonstration or protests try to be organized either for January 6th or on Inauguration Day, just for them to be like, look at our dissatisfaction. I don't know. It just feels like it's always a look at me, look at us. Everybody's trying to do the next big thing to have people pay attention to them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that happens, you know? And I know that we always say that we stray away
I'm just putting it down on, I'm waxing poetic here so that we can revisit it in a few months and be like, yep, called that one.
Yeah, like, I definitely think it could happen. I think that would be like me calling Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters. I was like, yeah, I predicted it correctly, but it was also Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters. So it's like,
it's big deal. Predicting civil unrest. Yeah, obviously it's going to fucking happen. Don't be stupid.
I just, yeah, dude, sadly, again, like I'd be more surprised if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Some kind of demonstration.
Okay, so then what's more likely? Them choosing January 6th to try to like poke it at the conservatives or to do it on Inauguration Day?
Both.
Okay. I said which is more likely was the question.
Inauguration.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I think in my heart of hearts is more likely for
They don't want to be associated with
stage a hoopla.
But what going back to like the point was, and the whole misinformation and the media, it's like no matter what side you're on, the way modern media is, you're just feeding into more. You're getting, the algorithm is giving you more and more stuff.
Yeah, that's keeping
of what you already believe,
engaged
because you've shown interest in that and wants you to be engaged. And then whether it's the news outlet you choose, if you're still getting your media via TV, like no matter what, if you're choosing Fox or CNN, like those are also both owned by the parties that are backed and funded by the party that you already have a rooting interest in. So,
yeah.
You know,
the whole idea when people get into arguments, like they resort to, well, do some research or do your own research. Like that's an instant comeback for a lot of people, like very quickly on in discussions. And it's like even people that quote unquote do their own research, they saw one article that was given to them by a biased media organization or even two articles. It's like all you have to do. Anybody can find something that agrees with their viewpoint, no matter how outlandish it is, because there's so easy for places to publish articles or videos or whatever, and so they can take the most outlandish thing because they know it's going to get clicks and rage or whatever. It's going to get engagement. So they post outrageous things just because they know it's going to get engagement, and then people use those outrageous things to justify their feelings. Like, look at this. This person agrees with me. Or look at this. This person is totally an idiot. I don't know. It's just it seems so easy to see through to me, but it's just like obviously people don't see through it. They don't see through the fact that they're being fed things to get them to feel certain kinds of ways.
Yeah, and that's just a sad state that the world is in.
Nobody should be in control of your feelings but you.
I'm struggling. I don't want to get too further into this because, you know, I don't want to share any of my own, because I understand that there's people on both sides.
Nick's the devil. He loves Trump.
Yeah. Don't be saying that now.
Well, hey, you got Libby Robb over here. We got to have Conservies AV.
I'd say I'm far from that.
Right wing crazy fucker.
No, I didn't vote.
We should just be spearheads for both sides. We could just come at each other like we're just arguing manifestos of both sides.
Well, no, I have friends on both sides.
What? How can you have friends on both sides? What's wrong with you? You got to choose. You're either with us or against us. You can't be for both.
Well, I don't think I have friends on both sides. I think I have friends in the middle and I have friends on one side.
What? I don't know. I'm not sure if my sarcasm is coming through thick enough for everybody here.
I don't have any friends on the extreme right side.
I'll just take that first clip. I don't have any friends.
Yeah, and that's probably true too. But I honestly could say I don't have any friends on the right side. I think the majority of my friends are in the middle. And
Yeah.
but we'll move on.
I digress.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything to add anymore to that topic. I just try to focus on my world that's directly around me. That's my family, the people that I associate with on a day-to-day basis. And I try to, live every day and do the things that are going to bring me happiness. Some people might call that selfish, but unfortunately, nobody can be happy if you're not happy, right? Like if I can't bring myself happiness, then nobody's going to bring me happiness. So I don't know.
I'm still searching for all the above. But here we are.
Here we are.
Sitting,
talking,
and listening.
Yeah.
That's been the episode. No, just to veer into a lot lighter. Don't steal my shtick.
You cock.
To veer into a little lighter shit. There are some segments from other entertainment avenues that I enjoy.
Seggies.
Not even seggies, just full episodes. But the bracket is something I listen to, which they pick random topics and they do a
ranking system,
16-thing bracket, kind of March Madness style, but just like if it would be one region.
Yeah,
and like various things. It could be things. They did like a James bracket where Kevin James won.
Okay.
It's pretty goofy, but anyway,
you said James bracket.
Yeah. So either guys with the first or last name of James or girls.
Well, I don't want to rehash if they've already gone through the James bracket. Yeah. It just feels odd to me that Kevin James is the best. It feels like there's got to be better James. James Hetfield.
Well, it's a goofy show.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not going completely. It's not a completely serious show.
Well, then how can I trust any of their lists?
Well, that's the whole point.
Are they making serious arguments? Are they just saying, "Oh, it'd be funniest if we thought Kevin James was the number one seed"? This is the funniest.
A little in the middle. It's a serious / satirical. Don't take yourself too seriously. They still make serious arguments.
Speaking of, just like a quick little
they
aside,
love Kevin James' aura.
Who doesn't love Kevin James' aura?
See? So that's.
But should he be number one anyway? As a quick aside, we're talking of satirical things. You know, The Onion.
Yeah.
The Onion, along with people that were part of the Sandy Hook settlement with Alex Jones InfoWars, used that money to now buy Alex Jones's InfoWars. So The Onion owns the InfoWars,
really?
Which is hilarious to me. Yeah. A satire news site owns a satire news site.
It's a satirical paradox.
Yeah, basically. That's almost why South Park is hard to make these days. Like, it's hard to come up with things that are, like, so obviously satirical when the world we live in, everything feels like it should be comedy.
Yeah, that's what was my worry earlier. The whole Libby Rob, conservative Nick. It's like, there's people who are going to hear that and like just take it as face value.
That's all right. Let's just let them. We're just going to build these characters up. Because you know what they say? Love you, hate you. If they're talking about you, they're talking about you.
An American badass.
I don't know how it goes from there.
I bow at the bottom, bang to bang, diggy diggy.
Do you? What about...
We'll just lean into this.
'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
So we were sidetracked.
The bracket.
The brackets I talked about.
So
InfoWars.
anyways, now that we painted that picture, the latest bracket that I was listening to was the best things. Like they could rank 7 out of 10. I didn't really get all the way through it. I listened to the first 2 rounds.
Wait, what do you mean they could rank 7 out of 10?
Like Jennifer Gardner versus the band Train. What is the most 7 out of 10 thing? And they weren't talking about her looks, just Jennifer Gardner in general versus the band Train. Now, I think Jennifer Gardner was more 7 out of 10, they said, than the band Train. They said the band Train would probably be like a 5 out of 10.
So it's which one of those 2 things is closer to a 7 out of 10?
Things,
the
people,
question?
items.
Oh, yeah, whatever you're pairing up against each other.
So I wanted to hear not only some things that you would rank out of 7 out of 10, but maybe we could go through and like other 8s out of 10s, 2 out of 10s, because I thought that was an interesting topic. Like,
it puts a person to a
what
test.
food would you rank a 7 out of 10? Like
Hot dogs.
hot dogs, 7 out of 10?
Because I'm usually always pretty satisfied with a hot dog, but it rarely blows my socks off. I'm never like in the 8 or 9 or 10 category with a hot dog. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of times when I could be pretty satisfied. I'm like, oh, that was nice. Nice little treat.
Hot dogs is a good 7 out of 10.
I think. Yeah.
A good beef frank, too.
Yeah, I get the all beef is a solid 7. You know, you get those filler hot dogs. It's a little bit less solid of a 7. But I still feel like, oh, that was a nice little.
The fixins.
Fixins. We're going to have a lot of fixins.
A lot of fixins.
Yeah, we're going to have a fuck ton of fixins.
But then you think it's kind of like.
What about you? What is your food topic that's a 7 out of 10? You can't just come here and ask me these questions.
Nachos.
Nachos are good.
But that's more on a scale of I've had some nachos that are like a 4 out of 10, and I've had some like 9 out of 10s.
Yeah,
so like
I think it's more
nacho.
variable for
Yes.
nachos than it is.
But hot dog, I mean, you might have had me with the hot dogs. I'm trying to think like. Someone said pizza, and I just think pizza is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I think a bad pizza is a 7 out of 10, right? Like a bad pizza is still like, well, at least I'm having pizza. Have you heard pizza compared?
Pizza?
Still good. I've had day after pizza that's not as good as other day after pizza, right? Like some pizza places, pizza keeps better for the next day, but it's still pretty good the next day, depending on what you want to do. Sometimes I'll eat it cold. Sometimes I'll have it reheated. And that also is variables there too. Some places are better left to eat cold. Some places are better if you reheat it and eat it. But the lowest grade I'll ever give a pizza is usually a 7. You know what I mean?
So I think we can go. I think you sold me on hot dogs, so now it's hard for me to think of another 7 out of 10 because I think that might be perfect.
It's a really
so
good
now
one.
We'll go
I
on
think.
actor, actress, 7 out of 10. Not again, not looks, all encompassing.
Right.
I mean, looks can be part of it, but I mean,
Okay, what about
Jennifer Garner was a good one, by the way.
I was gonna say Schumer, David Schumer, the Friends guy.
David Schwimmer.
Yeah, because like he's not that great, but his little his voice acting in Madagascar is fine. That's pretty good. But he never knocks my socks off, so it was 7. He's a 7 out of 10.
Almost the whole Friends cast except for Jennifer Aniston might be a 7 out of 10.
Dang, shats at Matthew Perry.
I do love Matthew Perry. I do love Matthew Perry and everything he's done. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but he had a show. He did one season, and my dad got me into it. I mean, this is still like when I was still like in
Little tyke.
high school. No, high school. It was after Friends.
Younger tyke.
But it was like he was a sports radio DJ that had a lot of personal struggles.
This is Matthew
moving
Perry's.
on or letting go.
It's
or
a
something.
show or a movie?
Yeah, one show, but it got canceled after one season. It was very good. Like I really enjoyed it. He killed it. My dad will remember that. At least I think he will. But
Yeah.
that was a great shit. But I'm trying
We don't
to
got
think,
Tony the producer to look that
my
up.
actor wouldn't be David. I would put him at like a 6 for me.
A little less than a
Ross
7.
was my sorry, Brant, but Ross was my least favorite character. I know there's some Ross heads out there.
That's what I'm saying. I feel confident of him being a 7. Maybe Uncle Jesse's a little bit of a 7. Because like, what did he do outside of that?
If John Stamos is in a movie, are you? I'd almost put him in a 5.
Dang.
Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, John Stamos is in that movie. I need this. Like, I almost put Rainn Wilson at a 7. Very.
That's good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. He's got a strong contingency of people that will see something that he is in, but he's also got a lot of people that are like, I don't have any feelings for. Yeah, I don't have any feelings towards Rainn Wilson. That's a good one. Rainn
Wilson is the hot dogs of actors. When you want Rainn Wilson, he's gonna deliver.
That's a great point.
But sometimes you don't want Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, and that's when you get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
No, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a wrestler. 10 out of 10. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is an actor. I'm going 4 out of 10.
Who's the most? This is very specific. I was gonna say who's the most 7 out of 10 wrestler who's an actor, but I guess that's not really what I want to know. I was gonna say just tell me who's the best acting
Dave
wrestler.
Bautista is a good 7 out of 10 actor.
Yeah, he did a good job of transitioning from wrestler to actor more full time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock, obviously a bigger star, one of the most highly paid men in Hollywood for a couple of years. But I'm going to be honest, dude. Every time I see a movie with The Rock, I think it's a lot of overacting. I think it's just
same type of mannerisms a lot of time.
Yeah, it's a drama.
Pretty one-dimensional.
He was funnier in wrestling. Again, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. But he was funnier in wrestling than he is in like these comedy movies. He gets paired up with Kevin Hart, and or at least for a while he was. Him and Kevin Hart were in everything together.
Yeah, they had a bit of time.
Another 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 bands. They said Train. Train's
they're a little bit lesser than 7 out of 10. They're generic pop. Everybody likes Train, I guess. 7 out of 10.
Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, that feels close to me for sure. For sure. Definitely them. Maybe somebody like Jesse J.
Who's that?
Bang, bang into the room. You know I want to bang, bang all over you.
Does she have another song?
She wrote a lot of songs for people. She had hits. So maybe not Jesse J. Pharrell. He's kind of like a 7.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that hot dog boy. You said bands, though. You didn't say artists.
I did. I mean, this is all made up. It's not like there's like...
Whoa, all made up. Maybe, Maroon 5? Are they solid 7?
See, so they brought that up in the episode I was talking about. They're like, I feel like in an alternate universe, Train is Maroon 5, and Maroon 5 is Train.
I could see
And then
that.
somebody argued,
well,
Train doesn't have a guy like Adam Levine at the front, which makes Maroon 5 what they are.
It's true. They're a little bit... That's why I said Train to me is lower than a 7, so it's like Maroon 5.
Maroon 5 would be more
my
of a 7.
Yeah.
That is a good 7.
Because it's like I'm still satisfied by Maroon 5, but also I'm not like, this isn't the best thing ever.
Black Sabbath?
Yeah, if they even make it to 7.
Very specific joke. Intended for one audience.
Do you ever feel like we're making a show for one person?
Do you find yourself angry at some of our answers? Specifically saying that Black Sabbath is a 7 out of 10 band?
Call this law firm.
This show might be for you.
Have you ever had this happen to you before where you're listening to a show and they rank one of your favorite bands as a way lower ranking than would you know they should be ranked? Has this ever happened to you?
What would you give Black Sabbath out of 10?
Oh, they're easily an 8.5 or a 9. You know, they blazed a path. They were trendsetters.
Nirvana.
8. 7.5. They're close to a 7, dude. Nirvana could be a 7 band. People want to give them all this praise and glory. They had some great stuff, and Kurt Cobain, you know, he was unique in his own way. But if he would still be alive today, would that legacy be the same as it is that he's died? No, I don't think so.
His whole argument's always been that Nirvana got more popular than Pearl Jam because Kurt Cobain's death.
There's an argument to be made there. It depends, you know, what Nirvana's career would have looked like had they kept putting music out and had him and Kurt Cobain, you know, remained around.
But to counter that argument, there was a member of Nirvana after Kurt Cobain's death that achieved individual success of his own with a whole nother band. So you could say that if Kurt Cobain didn't die, like, I don't know.
But there's a lot of sliding doors moments, you know. You never know how things happen. Like maybe that ability for writing and capturing good songs and stuff for Dave Grohl never manifests if Kurt Cobain doesn't die, because that doesn't present Dave Grohl the opportunity to become who he is today. You know what I mean? There's not that opening for Dave Grohl to be like, oh God, what am I going to do now? No, he's still like, oh, I'm the drummer in Nirvana. It's Kurt Cobain's the man of the band. Like maybe they get to a point where they start writing and it's more, you know, cohesive, and Dave Grohl can become the Dave Grohl that he is today. But you don't know that. Things could be completely different.
Who did it? Courtney or Kurt?
Tough to say. There's arguments to be made both ways.
We're on a light topic. I won't get that dark, but sorry for doing that, audience.
But Nirvana, they're close to a 7 out of 10. They're above 7 out of 10 by a little bit, in my opinion.
We got Maroon 5, we got Hot Dogs, and we have Rainn Wilson. What's another big
7 out of 10 sports franchise?
Yeah.
Something probably. Do we go sport by sport, or we just say overall franchise 7 out of 10s?
I think the St. Louis Cardinals might be a 7 out of 10 sports franchise.
Yeah, it's not a bad. It could be a little higher than a 7.
I mean,
if you look at the
winningest team.
In the last 20 years or something.
The Jets probably 1 out of 10, half out of 10.
Half out of 10. It's got to be a team kind of like some Chicago teams, maybe the Cubs. Like they got that one World Series in there, but outside of that,
I'm not giving Cubs 7 out of 10.
Really?
They're a poverty franchise. 3 out of 10. You win one World Series.
Okay, but what about like a Blackhawks? They got the legacy, but they're a bit up and down, and they had the little dynasty. He said, "I can't give nothing to Chicago."
Blackhawks. I would have said 7 out of 10, but given the information we know about everything that happened in that run, I'll give them a 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Their biggest accomplishment was tarnished. Bears, 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
White Sox, half out of 10.
Half out of 10.
Chicago as a city, 3 out of 10?
Okay. 7 out of 10 cities. Well, since we're kind of going there, we'll go back to the sports franchises.
We'll go back to sports franchises. Bob had to make me mad by saying some bullshit like the Blackhawks.
Fucking Chicago.
If you support that kind of behavior,
it's liberal activities.
I mean, I don't know what kind of activity it is, but sorry, Brady, you know what you guys did. Kyle Beach will not be silenced.
You know what you guys did. So 7 out of 10 cities. Milwaukee?
Oh, I did really enjoy Milwaukee.
Yeah. It's harder to be able to rank them without having first-hand experience.
In the show I listened to, somebody said Phoenix was one of the. It went head to head with. Pretty good one. I think Phoenix went head to head with. I don't know. I'll have to pull it up.
There's things to do in Phoenix, but it's also just kind of like a fucking weird suburbia hellscape in the middle of the desert. Like it's an odd city.
They all said they really enjoyed Phoenix, but they said the food there is mainly like chain restaurant haven.
Yeah,
and it's not touching an ocean. Yeah. But
so that automatically drops at 3 points.
These are coastal elitists.
Yeah, clearly, fucking cocksuckers. Every city's a 7 out of 10. No, I don't know.
I mean, you could make it up, but what? They had
Tampa. That's a good 7 out of 10. That's good stuff to do there.
I do love Tampa. I'd almost give that a 9 out of 10.
You got some hurricanes and a lot of rains and things to deal with.
Hurricane season was over. Nashville?
Higher than 7 for me. A lot of good stuff going on.
There's a lot of cities we haven't been that would probably be like, that's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Denver?
Higher than 7 out of 10 for me.
Cold-ass climate there.
Yeah, but you got the mountains, though. It's pretty sweet.
My mustache hair is getting my nose.
Maybe I'm just
2 out of 10.
Really, I give everybody high rankings when it comes to cities. I'm like, you guys got some cool stuff here. You guys got some cool stuff
St. Louis.
Here. 7 out of 10. There's things that are here that are good.
I like St. Louis.
You can't be tainted by the.
You like how I like St. Louis?
Yeah, I believe everything you said there. Real high pitched. No tells at all.
I love my city.
I think it's just real easy for everybody that's from here to be down on it, and I get down on it a lot too. You know that.
Indianapolis, 7 out of 10. That might be a good 7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Dude, the slander, Bobby. But Indiana football, you know those guys in Indianapolis. They're living high right now.
Yeah, they're
okay, but we're getting sidetracked again. Let's go back to franchises. I do think
the sports franchises 7 out of 10s. Yes. What do you think? The Rams,
Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one because they give it all they got.
Always a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Never the bride.
What about the Packers?
9 out of 10.
A little bit higher, giving them more competitive teams, more regular.
I know Mike hates to hear this, Tyson, but a huge legacy there. A huge legacy.
Why do I give a fuck about my legacy? I can't do a good Mike Tyson. I can't. I can't.
It's okay. Your Mike Tyson impersonation, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe less. What about a team like
Edmonton Oilers?
That's a pretty good one. They're usually pretty competitive, but they haven't
Lots
crossed
of
it.
success in the 80s, but lots of failures in the 2000s.
Failure. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
So we got Bill. Do you agree with Bills?
Yeah, I said I think that's a really good one. I was trying to think of a basketball one. I was going to say something like either Golden State or
Pacers.
When have Pacers had more success?
Well, they're kind of like the Bills. They've scratched. They've tried their hand.
I try to think of. I guess I'm thinking of teams that are 7 out of 10s that like reached the top and that got them up there. But then there's been a lot of years where they were like down or mediocre.
Like the reason I said Bills is they went to the championship 4 years in a row and lost all 4.
Big.
That's big 7 out of 10 energy.
Yeah. Yep.
And now they're back to being
Right on the
always a
edge.
bridesmaid, never
Yeah.
a bride.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Mahomes is their daddy.
Yeah. Patty Daddy.
I want it on the record real quick.
On record.
Used to be a huge Chiefs hater.
Who?
Me. I spearheaded it.
You used to be? What, we switched up?
Yep.
Oh, my.
I'm not a fan, but I have a new worst favorite team. Least favorite team.
More hated team.
And that is the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah? All of a sudden, Big Bills hate.
Not really all of a sudden. They're in my favorite team's division. I feel like my boy Lamar Jackson gets a lot of flack for never winning the big one.
But Josh Allen gets the pass.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear that.
Do you agree, or am I looking at
No. You're right. It seems like that's kind of the narrative that's been built over the last handful of years. You know, yeah, that's probably, there's factors to it, and that's deep-seated factors in all sorts of ways of life. In
unconscious?
America. Yeah, subconsciously, if you will.
You know, it goes back to, gosh, we are kings of getting sidetracked, and it's largely my fault. Hand up, Scouts. Baseball, 7 out of 10. Atlanta Braves.
Houston, maybe. Like, they have their little period of time here recently where they're successful, but outside of that, you know, playoff appearances every so often.
Houston might be a good 7 out of 10 city in general, too.
Yeah, agreed.
So, I just thought that was a little fun, like, thought exercise, thinking of 7s out of 10. Like, good, like, you like it, but...
Yeah. Was there... okay, how about last one? We'll do 7 out of 10s.
Well, we didn't do beverages.
All right, we'll make beverages our last 7 out of 10s. What, orange soda? Or is that better? Could be better.
Orange soda is like either it's like a 9 or a 10. If I'm not in the mood for it, though, I just don't want anything to do with orange soda.
Yeah. I could have an orange soda even when I'm not in the mood. And that's why it makes it probably 7 for me on average.
Yeah. Mountain Dew.
Beverages. 7s. Hot chocolate.
It's a good 7 out of 10.
You know, it's
Yoo-hoo?
usually
Where do you
always
put a
a good
Yoo-hoo?
7. Above a 7.
I
I'm
mean,
always super satisfied.
It's always so good, dude.
Yes.
If it was 0 calories, I don't think I'd ever drink water. I'll just drink Yoo-hoo all the time.
Dude, it'd be like, instead of just drinking a Gatorade or a Powerade all the time like they do in Idiocracy, you'd just be drinking Yoo-Hoos. It's got the stuff the body craves.
Oh my, it's so damn. What do they put in that? I watched this YouTube thing that said you just put chocolate syrup in water and it tastes just like Yoo-Hoo. Lies. Oh my God, it's horrible. It just tastes like shitty
Watered down
water.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it's not, because they're like, oh, that's all Yoo-Hoo is. No. They're putting some dangerous shit in that boy. Because I'll tell you what, dude.
it be hitting.
Corey recently had a bunch of Yoo-Hoo cans from Sam's Club in the fridge. And
pack of them.
he shared a couple with us. And gosh,
Game over.
You know, I never go out of my way to buy Yoo-Hoo just because I know how dangerous it is.
Yeah. But if
I
it's
say
just sitting
Yoo-Hoo is
there,
a 10 out of 10. I'll say it right now.
it's a good drink. It's a good drink. Cocoa drink. Is that what they call it?
Chocolate flavored drink is what the label says.
Chocolate flavored drink. That's how you know you're getting some GMO shit.
God, dude, load me up, daddy. Load me up.
That's so funny.
This
Give
shit,
it to me.
Sit, Talk, and Listen brought to you by Yoo-Hoo.
Hey, Send me that shit.
Cool merch. I'd wear a Yoo-Hoo shirt.
Yeah, I agree. I'd be a walking billboard for them boys. They do a thing. They got good stuff. I'm behind their product.
Let's get sponsored by them.
We'll get producer Tony on that.
Hatched, Yoo-Hoo. You know, we got made fun of from our constant talks about these people who don't sponsor us, but I'll double down and say Hatched is the shit. So, but anyways.
We don't sponsor things that we don't believe in. And what we believe in here is Hatched, and we believe in Yoo-Hoo, and we believe that they would love what we're doing. And
Let's manifest some other shit. What
else do we believe in?
These are all 10 out of 10 sponsorships, by the way.
Yeah, maybe even 11 out of 10s. They go to 11. Well, can't you just make 10 higher and have 10 be the loudest? Well, no. These go to 11. So that's why these are legit.
What if a Yoo-Hoo competitor, which there could never be such a thing, like nobody's even touched the chocolate drink market.
Well, sure they have. You got all the Starbucks frappe bullshits. Those are kind of like chocolate drinks.
But what if a competitor of Yoo-Hoo wanted us to get on here and slander Yoo-Hoo? Would you?
No, I got more integrity than that.
All right.
Integrity.
We're drawing lines in the sand before the sand's even shown up. How do you like that?
Look, you got to make your views known. We can't have motherfuckers coming on here trying to slander on Yoo-Hoo. No other brunch place is going to touch Hatched. You know? Get out of here with this fucking Stacked.
Yeah, don't even offer us a sponsorship, Stacked.
Not interested.
We're already got our reservations at Hatched.
Because they're the superior place, and we only deal with the superior things on this program.
Clip that off.
Program. Do you like program or program?
Program.
Yeah, I'm a fan of program.
Well,
Head ball coaches talking about their programs.
I just knowing your stance in the party that you're playing on this show, you're more of a program kind of guy.
Well, you know, it's really important that you articulate your words so that people don't think less of you when you talk a certain way. You know, because like if you don't have very proper pronunciation, then my liberal friends, they just won't accept you.
And that is the kind of behavior that got us in this
predicament.
Whoa,
that's a lot of syllables, I know.
You're more Big Ten. We're SEC. You tell me.
Nah, dude, I'm Ivy League, I guess.
You got Indiana University elitist.
Yeah.
Wrote all over you.
But
okay, but so I do like a good rating system. Now, everybody knows ratings, 7 out of 10s. It's a round score. It's a rookie score. There's no decimals. But for the sake of this topic, it was just a good
we need a nice round score
for
you know.
You can say, well, Phoenix is like a 7.6 and Dallas is like a 7.2. So, you know,
not all sevens are created equal. So, I mean, there's things to be said about a decimal system for that exact reason. But we're not here to get into the weeds of the decimals of 7s out of 10s. We're here to tell you just what we think is, average. I'm still trying to think of another good 7 drink, though.
Bud Light.
No, not a 7. Lower than a 7.
Busch Light. Michelob Ultra.
No. Because I don't feel like any of these are flexible. I feel like I have a number locked into my brain on these drinks, and there's like no flexing.
What would you give Pepsi Cola?
5.5.
Coke 0.
What?
Coke 0.
Oh. You said Coke 0. I thought you were answering your own.
I was like saying Coke, but then I know you're a Coke 0 guy, so what would you give Coke 0?
7.5. Yeah, that's my closest to 7 probably out of 10.
So Coke 0 it is.
Yeah.
If you had Coke 0, a hot dog.
There's not a lot of drinks that I think are 10s, I guess. Water when I'm really thirsty, that's a good 10. Yoo-Hoos.
You bring a Yoo-Hoo to any party.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a hot dog, you're watching Rainn Wilson, and somebody gives you a Yoo-Hoo.
You know which one you're going to be more interested in, that Yoo-Hoo.
Well, like, that's almost 7 out of 10 day. You wake up, you listen to some Maroon 5.
A Yoo-Hoo is not a 7 out of 10, though.
No, but I'm picturing a 7 out of 10 day. You wake
Lay it
up
out for me.
You let Maroon 5's on.
When I wake up.
You take about a 7-minute shower.
Okay.
That's a 7 out of 10.
That's a 7 out of 10, a 7-minute shower? Is it too quick? That's why it's only 7.
Yeah. Is it too quick?
Yeah, look, it can't be perfect because if 7 minutes was a perfect shower, then it would be ranked 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So if it's a 7 minute shower and it's ranked 7 out of 10, that means it's probably a little short
What's
or
a
something's
perfect
making.
shower? 10 out of 10 shower would be 10 minutes? 12 minutes.
What is a perfect length of a shower? 10 to 12 minutes feels right. Just enough
Temperature
time
of
to
the water.
70 degrees out of 100.
That's cold.
No, you don't want no 70-degree shower. I think what's the most comfortable is like probably when it's close to body temperature, like a 98-degree shower, something that's like right on what our internal temperature is. It almost matches and it feels the most comfortable.
Do you ever sit or lay down in the shower, just let that water hit your face, boy?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
sure.
gosh.
It's not a regular thing,
No,
but I have.
but when you do it, it hits. Like when you're in the mood for
and
it.
those ones can be longer, so that's why I'm saying 7 minute would almost be lower than a 7 out of 10, maybe for shower.
All right, so you're
rankings.
taking a 9-minute shower.
It's a 7 out of 10.
Speaking of showers, see, this has really opened up a infinite category. I do
of
like this. We
conversation.
have greased the wheels. When you're in the shower,
Do you waffle stomp?
do you ever combo it with what is waffle stomping?
I just like
See,
that you had to stomp. What is
Well,
waffle
'cause
stomping?
This is a kind of like it's.
You don't know that? You don't
we
know what a
dislike
waffle
the
stomp is?
interviews that they don't. You say something like waffle stomp. I can't just go on with the question.
I was hoping you might. No, waffle stomp. It's when you take a deuce in the shower and you stomp it through the grate.
God.
I've never in my life done this, but I've heard of it. I'm like, how would somebody
If
do
you've
that?
heard of waffle stomping, it's because you've partook.
That's bullshit. No, they talk about it in programs.
What?
I've heard podcasts or other
I don't
radio
know what kind of
shows.
show you're listening to. We ain't waffle
There's been
stomping.
a waffle stomp conversation on
Why
TMA
did they get the
before
name waffle stomp?
because it makes a waffle
Oh,
when you stomp on
God.
the grate.
Oh,
God.
That's
That's
a 0 out of 10. Why would you stomp on it after you shit in the shower?
How else are you gonna get it out?
Why just go, dude? Just I know it's uncomfortable to get out of the shower after your ass is already wet and sit on the toilet. You feel like, oh God, now I gotta wash all over again. But I guarantee, oh God,
I'm glad that we could be sidetracked by the waffle stomp.
We're
I thought you
humans.
knew of it. I thought you've heard of it before. That's great.
waffle stomping?
Yeah.
Why is it called waffle stomping?
I told you because it comes out like a squared waffle. Think about it.
Oh no! My stomach is sick.
So anyway, moving past that, showers.
Yeah, well, it's hard now because I was gonna say, do you ever combo like in the morning, 2 birds, 1 stone, brush your teeth, shower?
No.
No,
It's one then the other.
it's like a hygienic. Combo.
I have in the past.
Yes, you have.
But it didn't. I feel like I end up taking too long in the shower than brushing my teeth there. I feel like I'd rather just get the shower done, brush the teeth, get that done, move on to the next thing.
You a morning or evening shower guy?
Depends on the day. It depends
Average
on,
day.
Average day, yeah, evening, probably shower on an average day. If it's a day where I woke up and I had nothing going on, I might take one in the morning. Or if it's a day where I got to wake up and be my best presented in the morning for whatever reason, I got something going on that I got to be better presented in the morning, I'll take it in the morning on those days. You know, it just depends. I'm not married to one way or the other. I know some people are like, I got to take a shower before I go to bed. Or some people are like, I can't start my day without a shower. You know,
Yeah, there is
I don't
both.
know.
There's arguments of both. If you're a morning shower person, you can argue that your sheets, well, not even argue. It's probably your sheets are going to be dirtier than an evening shower person. But
Yeah.
you're getting up and then immediately
You wash
showering.
them sheets. Yeah, and then you wash them sheets once a week or so anyway. So it's like
It just
what are
wakes
we
you up a
talking
little
about?
bit, right?
It
Like,
can,
It's hard
but
to fall asleep after.
it's
a shower.
also like you have to then dedicate waking up earlier to fit that time into your morning routine. So it's like I can wake up and be ready to go 5 minutes after I've woken up in the morning from an alarm.
But that shower is going to wake you up more than extra 15 minutes of sleep would have.
It depends on who you are.
And you feel that water on your skin.
No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it.
That's an 8.5 out of 10 song.
Really? Unwritten?
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10.
If you start singing that anywhere between the people of ages of 20 to 40, people are going to say, staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, release your inhibitions. See, it's impossible.
You're right.
Dude, like we should go.
I think we're going to get
we could do
copyright
some-
infringement on that.
Well, after Hatched and Yoo-Hoo picks us up and we get some more,
We'll pay for it.
Yeah, we'll get it going then. Yoo-Hoo got us.
You got us, dude. We got their back. They got our
When
back.
we get the cameras going in here,
we'll be like Ricky Bobby, dude.
We'll have the Yoo-Hoos in our hands drinking.
They'll just
it.
wear glasses, sunglasses. It'll just say Yoo-Hoo across the glasses.
And you like yellow. You like wearing yellow.
Yellow is in my. It's in my.
In the summer, when you got the tan to kind of.
I'm trying to think of. Yellow could be a 7 out of 10 color.
Yellow is yeah.
Like, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
Yellow is a great compliment. Like, you can put
Yes.
yellow with a lot of stuff, and it's going to make that other color pop more.
Yeah. I just think that the gray and the pink would pop.
Gray and pink?
Shout out Iggy.
Oh, yeah. You got to go Miami Vice colors. You got to paint the buildings brighter colors.
It'll bring people into downtown. More vibrance.
We got to get him on the show.
Yeah. I do like me a good yellow, though. It's 7 out of 10 color.
You know who else did? Who was that? It was yellow.
Oh, gosh. Was that
It's not Yellow Card.
Coldplay?
It is Coldplay. You know
how I know you're gay? Because I knew that was Coldplay, I guess.
Coldplay, 7 out of 10?
No. Maybe. I don't know. They're like Train. Yeah, Coldplay and Train are on the same plane, I'd say. You like that? Coldplay and Train are on the same plane
But I'm not
of
a rapper.
existence. Plane of existence.
We're all on the same existence, plane of existence, brother.
Cheech and Chong, 7 out of 10?
See, you're going to start thinking of things like this, and you start thinking of everything in the world, and when you start talking about ratings, it starts making you put everything into perspective. How much do I enjoy this?
What is it? So you and I, it seems, I'm curious, and I haven't been able to like come up with a good reason in my own mind. Why is it that we love coming up with just arbitrage, arbitrary fake numbers about things, just things that we think are interesting, or like just making guesses at it, and not even knowing like if we could ever find the real numbers. It's just fun to like whatever reason speculate about them. Some people are so disinterested in like making guesses, random guesses about things. Why is that, I wonder?
I only deal with facts. I only deal with concrete things, man.
But it's not even that. Like, that's not, they'll just be like, they're like, oh, I just don't find it fun making a random guess. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's fun, like, just bouncing random guesses back and forth to see,
fun. It's innocent. It's a lot less serious than real world problems. I'll tell you that. It is. Yeah. It's a fun, different.
Well, and it also kind of helps gauge, your and the other person's perspective on, like, whatever there is they're talking about. I don't know. Like the way that, I think this many people think this way or whatever. I don't know. I just find it interesting that like us and other people do like love just coming up with arbitrary numbers.
Tiering things.
Yeah. Ranking things, whatever. Like that's a lot of fun for us.
It's fun.
But it's not, some people find it so not fun. And it's so interesting to me that it's like what the type of brains are that
some people like things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people, I don't know the science behind it. I am also interested, just like you, in the psychology behind why people like things and certain things. Like, it's a little, but, same thing is going back to last week, or 2 weeks ago, or last episode.
Yeah, it is.
When, we have a whole demographic of people, smart and dumb. Smart people that don't like wrestling, dumb people that don't like wrestling, smart people that like wrestling, smart people that don't like wrestling, Why is that? Why do some people view this thing and one person can see it for completely and have such enjoyment out of the exact reason the other person doesn't like it?
Right.
It's interesting. I don't think we'll know.
Right.
I think it's fun. It's fun ranking things. It gets people involved because everybody can relate to it.
Yeah. And
some
it's
people
like
think it's
if
a waste of time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but
what
I
does?
just think it's interesting. And it's like it helps people, put things in perspective.
Who decides what matters and what doesn't? Society, obviously, but I mean,
Jesus.
look at cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Or NFTs, anything like
There's
that.
nothing backing it. Nobody quite understands it. People say they do.
It's the belief in it.
But I mean, there's nothing back. There's no concrete physical thing backing cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
But it fluctuates like it is.
Yeah. It's the belief in cryptocurrency that keeps it real and alive. So it's like, if we just believe in the things, then it becomes, it's like manifesting.
Santa Claus.
Almost. Like Santa Claus. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
Christmas.
Even though they're in Halloween world and they make it a spooky Christmas?
Well, yeah, I understand why the comparison would be made. I mean, if they made it in Christmas time and they all fucking dress up as reindeer and Santa Claus, it'd be no argument. Well, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
When do you watch it?
Between Halloween and Christmas?
It's a Wonderful Life. Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah, easily. No questions about that.
Die Hard.
Christmas movie. I love watching Die Hard once a year. It's a good movie. When was the last time you watched Die Hard?
I watched a team Die Hard 16 weeks of season 17 now, and that's the New York Jets. That's not a Christmas movie.
R.I.P. Jets.
Every year. But anyway, sorry I'm making this about myself again, my own sadness.
It's all right. Bringing it back to Xavier.
Always self-consumed. What? I know this is done all. That's another thing. It's done all the time. It's tired, right? But I still think it's interesting every time. Christmas movies. What's not a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I find it fun. It's definitely we've kind of hit the big ones already. As far as people always are debating whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie, or whether I don't think people really debate on the
It's a Wonderful
Nightmare
Life.
Before Christmas one. I just was curious if you thought it was more of a Halloween movie that
I
people
think
watch at
do
Halloween
debate
time.
It's a Wonderful Life, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people have been thinking that's a Christmas movie for a lot of years.
I don't think so. I think there is. I mean, I do think a lot of people think that, but I think there are people out there that say it's not about Christmas. It's just a Christmas time. The movie's
yeah.
it's not about Christmas. The movie's not.
Sure, Die Hard's not about Christmas either, but
I
it's
understand.
become a Christmas movie. I come from the camp that it doesn't have to be a specific movie about Christmas time to be a Christmas movie. If the movie becomes part of like your every year Christmas tradition, then it's a Christmas movie.
People say that a lot about the Harry Potter movies.
It could be, yeah. It
People
could be a
watch
Christmas
them
movie.
more often around Christmas than they do any other time.
If Harry Potter is your Christmas movie, then make it so.
Can you see that argument?
Sure.
You like Harry Potter?
I'm a fan. That's the 7 out of 10 franchise.
Whoa. I mean, that's a polarizing thing. People either I almost say it's not a 7 out of 10 because people either are so against Harry Potter they make it sound cool because I've never seen a Harry Potter.
Right.
I've never seen a Star Wars.
Right.
Like, what do you want, a fucking medal, dude?
Yeah, they're like, I'm so cool, I stayed away from that stuff.
I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, that's
I don't
me.
plan on it.
That's why I figure like I'm so much cooler than everybody else because I didn't watch wrestling when I was a kid. Yeah, I didn't watch wrestling.
You made that abundantly clear. We know how you feel about wrestling.
And how much better I am because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we know all about it. I was going to let that die down.
No,
I was told, but you did have somebody in your camp said I was beating you, even though you had already kind of conceded the argument, and that was my own father. He enjoyed the episode, but he said that he was kind of wishing that we would have moved on from that topic, and then I was kind of he was on me. He was saying that, and I invite criticism. He said that he doesn't like to offer critique, but I invite it because I'm trying to be more conscious. He said after you kind of moved on, we're like maybe maybe I am a little too harsh on this. He said that I wouldn't let it go, and then I kept beating the point. And so
I'll have to go back and listen.
My dad had your
me
back.
Take a beating.
My dad had your back. He said that, I was a little too harsh.
I didn't think so.
So I'd
but
like to
thanks,
take
Bill.
this time to apologize.
All right, I'll get these pants down. You can kiss it for me real quick.
It's so funny because I just Brant had just got into a hope he doesn't mind. He's probably going to listen, but Brant just got into a fantasy football beef last week.
Beef.
With somebody else in the league that was just kind of,
being a dick.
Will Roberts. Not a big fan of him.
We're going to play out all the players of this game. Let's paint the picture here.
Anyways.
So there was some beef.
Yeah. But, Will just said some unsavory things over text that just didn't need to be said. And I told Brant that he should tell him because, Brant wanted him to apologize. And I was like saying that you should play the Reggie Jackson clip from South Park where he's like, it's okay, just apologize.
Just apologize. Kiss it. So that's what I'm going to have you do here. So, because you, I guess, tore into me so bad or whatever about wrestling.
But I do invite critique. Like I'm an idiot, and I think I've made that clear several times. So if you enjoy the show but want us to polish some things up,
again, I'm enjoying the show.
Just just let me know. Let us know.
I don't take criticism so well.
Bob doesn't take criticism, but I am taking criticism.
It's not that I don't take it well. It's just I know that I don't need anybody to critique me because I know that I'm doing a perfect job.
Most
liberals do think that way. Yeah, it's true. Some would think of it as a flaw. I figure of it as being more of a perk of life, really, just being so confident in everything that I do.
If you're in the minority, you don't take time to self-reflect. It's obviously everyone else is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a fair way. Like, if you're confident in yourself and you've been proven wrong, it's false information.
Yeah, I just have to double down,
Triple.
Maybe even triple down. I don't give a shit what kind of data you're coming at me with. I know what's true, and it's what I believe in my heart of hearts. So suck it. Eat me, Doug.
Quit it out, ball game. Suck it, Doug. We should get Doug on here.
Yeah, you think he's free?
Get him unplugged.
He's busy doing those sports Sundays.
I get unplugged a little bit sometimes on this. Today I'm feeling pretty.
Yeah.
I'm feeling 7 out of 10-ish.
On this episode?
Yeah.
This will be probably the title of the episode. 7 out of 10 episode.
Nah, I don't know. My
spirits?
Spirits, 7 out of 10.
That's good.
Going into it, 4 out of 10.
All right, so we've lifted them up a little bit. Some catharticism,
I do. I enjoy doing this show. I would continue to do this show, whether if it was just one person listening. I want to do this as long as both of us are willing and able.
I like it. It's just it's a fun little way to, document feelings throughout our time.
Yeah, we'll go back and we can listen like this. So we'll be like, oh, this is the Mike Tyson episode.
This is the 7 out of 10 episode.
7 out of 10, which probably 4 out of 10 by listenability. 7 out of 10. Well,
the evergreenness.
Yeah.
We'll see how the Mike Tyson fight plays out.
But me personally, I like randomness. I like random bullshit, and I don't like such manufactured topics.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Or like, just purposely polarizing topics. People, purposely taking a stance because they know it's going to get a reaction out of people, even though they don't feel that stance is the case. Although sometimes I'll do that, right? But I don't do it out of malice, and I don't do it ever and truly try to back up an opposite viewpoint. I just try to bring opposite viewpoints to the table.
You are a polarizing guy.
I'm a devil's advocate kind of guy.
Yeah, which is polarizing in nature.
Yeah. Well,
I'd argue I'm pretty polarizing too.
Yeah, well, we attract people.
I think that is because we
are idiots.
Definitely.
Yes.
Idiots. Like if you are feeling emotionally happy or sad or mad about anything I say, you too are an idiot. Just with me.
Yeah.
We're all idiots.
Nothing but a bunch of idiots.
But I don't know. I was just telling you earlier off air that sometimes I miss, like, and I still feel like I'm a pretty emotional guy, but I do miss feeling so excited, so upset, so down.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, gosh, that is a roller coaster ride.
It is.
I tell you, it's probably more exciting while I'm on it. Looking back on it than while I'm on it. But
yeah,
I do miss that.
We've had that discussion before too. Like I feel like I've been pretty leveled off for a lot of years now. Like where I don't get too excited and I don't get too down about things. Do
you miss getting upset and involved?
No, I don't think so. Because I've had enough experience to know that no matter how excited I could be about something, there's going to be future things that come along that get me just as excited. Or no matter how upset I could be about something, there's going to be future things that come along that I'll be just as upset about. So it's like I don't miss having those extreme emotions because I know that there's going to be other things coming along in life that are going to, bring me to those same planes of emotion, whether it be really excited or really sad. So I don't know. I feel it and I don't fight it. I don't fight my emotions like being happy or being sad about something, but I've been in a natural, more middle ground for a lot of years of my life now. And that's kind of a sad way to be for a lot of people. They like those highs and lows of full range of emotions, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I do think, like you said, it's, I don't know, maybe I do like being like this better. In hindsight, though, I guess you look at everything in the past, you kind of like look upon it as, something in the human brain is conditioned to reflect on the past for the most part as that was positive. You don't really dwell on the negatives of past things.
Yeah.
So while
we purposely block that kind of stuff
I
out.
miss, being on such an emotional roller coaster on a day-to-day basis, which I have tempered, but not tempered as much as you. I think I still have those days, but consistently I don't. And I think though, like I reminisce on that. Oh, I miss that just because it was in the past. Like I don't remember how low the lows felt. You know what I mean? How angry the angries were.
Right.
It was always everything was 10 out of 10.
Right. How like the littlest thing could swing you one way or another.
Yeah.
It's like those are the bad parts about it. But the human brains are conditioned that way to like purposely block out things that brought us negative feelings and emotions and then like prop up the stuff that was the good feelings and emotions, even associated with bad experiences. You're like, oh, I remember the good things about it, not all the negative things associated with it. Because otherwise our brains would just completely destroy us, with negative stuff that we remember from the past.
Yeah, it's like almost everything you look back on, you say, those were the days.
Right.
Those were the days. And you don't often, I'm sure there are exceptions. Obviously, there's exceptions. People have lived nightmares and shit, and I'm not trying to downplay that. But for the most part, you'll be like, man, playing football and Hell Week and stuff. Like, those were the days. Like, in reality, we were like, fuck, we got to wake up. We got to fucking, school's ending. We got to go to fucking practice for 3 hours. We're exhausted, tired. Gotta go to school. God, more homework, all that shit. But now you look back now, I'm like, damn it, I miss those times.
Glory days. Yeah.
Like, no matter how stressed, and that we were kind of talking about earlier about, not ever getting too down. I'm not going to get too dark into this, but, kind of like you just said, knowing there will be brighter things ahead. We will get back in 10 years. We're going to be like, man, remember when we were recording the podcast? Well, hopefully we'll still be recording, but
we'll have more sponsors.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll look back and be like, wow, remember the days we were in the basement recording the podcast? Like, those are the fucking days, dude.
Yep. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Everybody always looks back at past days.
And I won't remember how I felt, this whole day. Like, I'll remember recording and shit, but I'm not going to remember, like, gosh, man, I was just kind of down.
Full range of emotions for the day. Sure.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they always say. They say, you know, the thing they don't tell you about the glory days is that you don't know when you're in them. You know, people only think that they were in the glory days when they've passed it by. They say those were the glory days.
But when you consider everything the glory days, man, that's in the past.
No, because I really like where I'm at now, and I have hope for building more glory days in the future. So I have an appreciation of the days that have gone by, and I look back at some of them, I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. But very rarely do I look back and be like, man, I just wish that I could go back to those days. Very
You seem
rarely.
like you hated your time in Indiana.
Hate's strong.
Well, you disliked it.
I just liked aspects of it. I didn't dislike it as a whole. I disliked aspects of it as it came to be. It wasn't like at first. It was just like as I spent time there and came to realize stuff. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This is not. There's no positives really. The negatives outweighed the positives after a period of time. That's all.
See, even then, like I look back at my Indiana days, and I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah, but then it got to a point where being there didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what happens. It's like, I don't know. I don't look back on them and be like, those were the best days ever. I could look back on them and be like, there were some really good days there. And then I look back and I'd be like, but it was time, you know, I was ready to move on when it was time to move on.
It's time for me to fly. Time for me to fly.
REO Speedwagon, 1974?
8 out of 10.
Maybe 78. 8 out of 10 song, you think?
Band.
Wow, 8 out of 10 band. Okay, I could
What are
dig
you
it.
ranking them?
They could be a solid 7 out of 10 band.
Damn.
They're not for everybody.
Already knows Speedwagon.
Yeah. Listen to the.
Gosh, I am having a terrible cough clearing episode. For that, that's a 7 out of 10.
Oh, Flemmy boy, Xavier Flem Master. So I don't know. I get into this. I guess might as well. It's just another little fun topic. I listened to the Van Halen's book recently. Alex Van Halen, brother of Eddie Van Halen, released a book about a month ago. Listened to it as an audio book. Pretty good book. Then I went and listened to Sammy Hagar's book after that. Sammy Hagar released his book like 10 years ago, though. So, you know, before Eddie died or anything like that. Sammy Hagar's book seemed like it was a little bit more truthful and forthcoming with information about the brothers.
They're dicks.
Well, yeah, pretty big assholes most of the time, the two of them, and just pretty self-absorbed. You know, only worried about their own stuff, not worried about anybody else's situation so much. And
hard to
but
imagine.
it got me thinking. I guess is what I'm bringing it to. It got me thinking. So a lot of the problem you kind of see developed with Eddie Van Halen was that he was a phenomenal guitar player when he first burst onto the scene. In their first couple records, you know, he was a very good guitar player. But then, you know, it starts to become the press and the accolades of, oh, this is the best guitar player ever. Oh, he's a guitar virtuoso. He's pushing the boundaries, this and that. It's like eventually you buy into that persona, right? He seems to think of himself as, oh, I'm the best guitar player ever. I need to be always pushing the boundaries and always innovative. And it's like it puts that pressure on yourself. So I guess the question that I'm trying to ask from this is, how much of something like that being the best in the world or anything like that comes from within, and how much of it comes from outward pressures? Like, was he the best in the world because he kept pushing himself because he wanted to be the best, or was he the best because the outside pressures kept like trying to push him to change, and then he ends up, you know, becoming a shell of himself in the future because he cracks the pressure?
Well, I don't know as much about that world as I do about...
Just a generic question of that.
I'm getting there.
I'm getting there.
LeBron James was 17 years old when they put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the tattoo that says Chosen One on his back and all that. And, you know, I think anybody around our age or older remembers the hype around LeBron and the things that he was supposed to do in the NBA. Yeah. And I think that not only did he live up to those expectations, but he passed them all. And relatively compared to other huge stars, pop culture icons of his time, has stayed out of trouble. Right. Obviously, he's done some things and said some things like anybody would have.
Majorly minor compared
but
to like other
LeBron has continued to and continues to set new standards for what is being a superstar of his age. He's 39. He just put up a 35-point triple-double, his third in a row. And I know I'm saying all this, I don't know if it's answering your question or not, but in my mind, it's like LeBron was arguably more coveted than Eddie Van Halen, which I'm sure Eddie was a lot, but it's LeBron fucking James. And I think
I guess I'm saying is like, is greatness something that is thrust upon somebody, or is it created from within more often?
I think it's created from within. It can be thrust, but sometimes people can't handle the pressure, and it depends. You have to really have a good grasp and grip of your ego, which is going to naturally come. But I think you look at two guys who named their band after their last name. Granted, it's a good band name, but it kind of shows from the beginning that they were pretty egocentric.
Yeah.
Like,
their dad was all about that. He said, you got to do it for the Van Halen name.
You know, you see, that's what I'm getting at. Like, where LeBron certainly probably has an ego. He's been told he was. Do you see what I'm going at all with this? Like,
yeah,
it's two different people. But LeBron, I mean, he was given the same kind of pressure that I imagine Eddie was facing, and he turned it into being better than that.
Right, being able to spin it to a positive.
But it's all about your mind state.
It is. So
I guess a long-winded way, and I was just trying to put something that I could understand in my head. I think, like everything else, it's perspective, and I think Eddie kind of bought in and was buying too much of his own, lemonade.
Yeah, stopped working for it for a period of time, it feels like, right? Like he just was... He assumed himself to be the best in the world, so he just figured it would come to him, but it felt like eventually he stopped putting in the real work that he did to get to be where he was in the beginning, and he just kind of plateaued off, and he was trying to ride on the same coattails of his early on success. And, I don't know.
I mean, if you say, you could argue that, again, I might sound ignorant, but Sammy Hagar didn't seem to have two kind of words reminiscing on him. And, David Lee Roth, they certainly didn't have a good breakup, I don't think.
David Lee Roth left the band because he was going to be he had a contract to be a film director. David Lee Roth put out one film, and it was a huge bust, and that was it for David Lee Roth.
But did he have kind words to say about the Van Halens after he left?
Not when he left. It was more so into the future now that he had more kind words to say, but that was also because he was doing reunion tours with the guys, and it was financially made most sense for him to be in good relationships with them.
But I think Eddie, nothing like, and I don't want to judge Eddie because I can't understand the kind of pressure. How can I sit here and talk about something that I haven't experienced?
Right.
But I just talked about a polarizing thing that I watch and have watched my whole life, and someone to handle that's kind of success way differently.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, yeah, I think a lot of that falls on Eddie and Alex, and
yeah, they were their own demise rather than being victims of the world around them.
I mean, even after Eddie couldn't play anymore, you can't tell me there was better guitars for Van Halen, one of the most commercially successful bands of all time. Wolfgang is the next best thing to replace that. I mean,
he was playing bass with him. It's
his
whatever
son. It is.
He said, it's my own son.
It's all Van Halen, Van Halen, Van Halen.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's an interesting thing. I just, the pressures on being the greatest, whether it's worse from the outside or if it's harder coming from the inside. I don't know.
Like, would Metallica have succeeded the way they have if James was like, after Cliff died, my son is going to be the new bassist.
It's James Brown. James Hetfield. Where did James Brown rank on the James list? Wasn't on there.
I don't know if he was on it.
Racist.
We have to go back and watch it. No, the LeBron James was on it.
Oh, okay. LBJ.
I mean, Kevin James is a solid James, dude.
But more than James Hetfield, more than James Brown, More than James and the
Maybe we're going
Giant
with who
Peach.
they. Maybe some people, because they all vote and the majority moves on to the next round, and maybe the majority of people were judging it by who they'd most want to have a beer with. Kevin James might be the top of James you would want to have a beer with.
No, James Hetfield before for me.
Isn't he sober?
He'd hang out. We could chat. Hey, James, why don't you sit over there while I have a beer? Let's talk. He'd be game. Right.
We should think of other names, though, and do like mini brackets. Not even brackets.
Just Mount Rushmores of those names.
Yeah.
Alex. Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. Graham Bell.
Yeah.
Was that
But
something?
Alexander Graham Bell stole the invention of the telephone.
Yeah. I'm hip.
Stole from the Italians.
Marconi.
Yeah.
Marconi played the mamba.
So maybe Mount Rushmore of frauds.
Christopher Columbus. Alexander Graham Bell.
Thomas Edison.
Are we doing frauds now?
Frauds.
Okay. Yeah, he's a good one. He stole from Tesla. Made him look bad. Nikola Tesla. And
who stole from Tesla was those damn Democrats.
and then the Rockefellers, they could go on the list of frauds. too.
Frauds? They were frauds?
Yeah, they just took other people's oil business and made it better business.
What about, gosh, dude, who is that dude?
Are we back to Alex's?
Not yet.
Still frauds? List of frauds.
Billionaire. Gosh, the dude stole billions of dollars from old people in that pyramid scheme.
Oh, I was going
Ponzi
to say
scheme.
Fire Festival guy.
Yeah, ultimate fraud, Billy something, Billy Williams, I don't know.
Billy! I feel like if your name is Billy and you're doing high money deals, you're a fraudster. You know? Like, dude, just go by Will or fucking something if you're going to be doing big money deals. You shouldn't be Billy anymore.
You hear
Yeah.
that, Billy?
Billy fucking Ray Cyrus. Or fucking
He's gonna take that horse to the whole town. Right?
suck that, your achy breaky heart.
Oh fuck, dude! I'm trying to think who had that infamous Ponzi scheme.
Billy
Enron?
Corrigan.
Was it Enron?
I'm not sure.
Dude, no, it was huge. Gosh, damn it!
Is it Cutco?
No,
Cutlery?
dude, it was one guy.
Amico?
Like he was like the face
Not
of this.
Amico.
Dude,
His name is not Alex.
Hold on.
All right. Producer
You're gonna
Tony.
start your Alexes.
Producer Tony is going to look this up. We're going to try to go over
And you
our
start
list
the Alex list.
of our best Alexes. We got Alexander Graham Bell, Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was a great politician, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't know the guy personally. You have Alex Morgan, soccer player. She's pretty good. Is she a top 4, Alex? Potentially. It gets more difficult when you think of Alexanders as opposed to just regular Alexes. You know, you have Alexander Steen, great hockey player for the Blues, also part of the management team. Blues, great Alex there. What about, you have Alexander the Great. You feel like he has to be
Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff. There's a name I know. So he's a Ponzi
All-time
scheme
fraudster.
man?
Yeah.
Put him on the list of all-time fraudsters. Fucking Bernie Madoff.
The Madoff investment scandal defrauded thousands of investors of billions of dollars.
Hell yeah.
Madoff said that he began the Ponzi scheme in the early 90s, but an ex-trader admitted in court to faking records for Madoff since the early 1970s.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
so
dude's
all
been
time
around for a
Alexes, I
minute.
mean, Alexander the Great is
he's got to have a whole city named after him.
Alexander the Great is the one of one. I mean,
Yeah,
of Alexes.
probably so. One Alex to lead them all.
I mean, I think everything else you named was kind of niche, like Bobby's World, Alex Petrangelo, Alex Steen, Alex Young.
Not about Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton,
Alexander Graham
wasn't
Bell.
Even he didn't sign. Alexander Hamilton didn't sign the
Declaration.
Declaration of Independence.
He was a known politician for something.
He did something.
He's known. He's a politician of note.
Alexes. Now, dude, for the amount of Alexes there are in the world,
Harder to come up with the great ones, huh?
you could probably say the same thing about Nick's.
Nikola Tesla.
Nicholas Lindstrom. But Alex, what about Roberts? A lot of big Roberts out there.
Yeah, there's
Robert Downey Jr.
Roberto Clemente.
Man,
There's not a lot of great Roberts throughout history.
I think the best Mount Rushmore might be Michaels.
Especially, no, even in past history, there's been a lot of great Michaels. Michael the Archangel or something?
Yeah.
Fucking Mike Anthony.
Michelangelo.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson. Mike Jordan. Mike Vick.
Mike Tilla the Hun. Oh, wait.
Was that a joke?
That's a joke. It's a little jokey joke. Attila the Hun.
Okay. I really wish that wasn't a joke. That was an all-timer.
It's a bit. Sketches and bits. Sketches and
Dude,
bits.
Alex's, though, kind of suck.
There's, is Alexis considered like an Alex?
Does she go by Alex?
No, goes by Alexis.
Golly. Who's your Mount Rushmore of Alex's that you personally know? Doxing season.
I don't know, dude.
Oh, no.
I know like one Alex.
No, you don't. I know 3 Alexes that you know.
I can't count people that I know years ago that I have no interactions with.
Alex the pianist. Alex
Sinclair.
Smith.
Okay.
Alex Rodaball.
Grade school compadres.
Alex Mueller.
I can't rank these
Alex
Alexes.
Molenbrock.
Which is doxing season. Just naming all these names. We've been going for quite a bit on this little pod, Reno.
If you're still here,
more power to you.
Should we sign off?
Yeah. Give us your ranking of Alexes.
Give us some names. Thank you guys
for sticking with us this whole episode.
All right. Love you.